I grew up in Wyoming. I used to go to school there and went to high school in Lindsay. I'm a chef by trade. I was a chef for 22 years at COVID. You know, I'm doing 300 people a night in a restaurant. Now all of a sudden I can only have 10. Now I've got to start letting people go. You know, people are crying, you know, how am I going to pay my rent, this and that.
In 21, that's when I came here to the park. I slept in my car for a while, and then there was a lot of dramas.
Luckily I had some savings and I was able to survive for about 6 months, but I was a renter, paying actually quite a high amount of rent for my premises, and I just couldn't afford it anymore.
You know what? You lose time. You really do. You wake up and you forget what day it is. You don't even give a shit about the time. You then just lose the whole concept of everything, and you're just like, oh, are we in that time of the year?
2017 was when I was asked to vacate the premises. Since I've been on the streets. I've been camping now for the last 2 months behind the woods, living pretty rough.
Growing up with my mum and dad being addicted to drugs and alcohol and domestic violence, when they were on them, they would just kick us kids out. And yeah, I was just living really rough.
During both the floods, we were in there just as the dam was about to break at one point. We were hit pretty hard by the flood, torn up all our roof. Our ceiling was actually collapsing in on itself.
Stayed with my friend probably for a total of a month, and then moved out of there to stay with one of their relatives on a boat. Stayed on a boat for 3 months, but because I don't have a license and he does, him taking me around places, getting my life together was a bit too much.
Water had actually gotten inside and trickled down our wall, and Zoe and my stepson were playing around in there, and she's laying on the wall, and her and my son went through the wall. That's when we discovered we had black mould in my son's room as well. Brought on from the dry rot and the water.
So then I went into like a budget hotel, things like that. I had savings still, and then when that started running out, I pretty much had to sleep in an abandoned house. My addiction got worse, my depression, and it all just snowballed.
I had money hidden in my car. They broke into it when I was asleep, took it. I had just a blanket at the time, and that was one of those itchy ones. That's all I had in the middle of winter.
I was sleeping in a shipping container. Not illegally, my friend knowed it, but there was nowhere else to go. No electricity, no water.
It's just the same shit, day in, day out. You don't want to wake up. Suicide becomes a very big part of your mind frame. You start going, you know what, I'm going to go and try and get all these prescriptions or whatever to go do yourself over. Or even just to sleep because it's too cold.
How's a person supposed to pay $500 a week rent when they're only getting about 900 a fortnight? Then you got gas and electricity, your food. If they got kids, they got to dress them, pay school fees. No wonder there's people living in poverty.
Not having somewhere to cook that's proper, we had no barbecue to cook from for a year and a half. You've got a group of people who are homeless. Why aren't you progressively doing something to eradicate that issue.
Finally had the courage to say, no, that's it, I've had enough, and I left and come down here and got with a service that has helped me with all of my daily living.
Come over to Mary Max, have a shower, some lunch, go back to the fan, sit there, and it cost me a bit to get the fan decked out. Now I've got a fridge in there, I've got a telly there, and solar panels on there to keep the power going. And every now and then I've got to go to my ex's place to charge up the batteries in the back. Otherwise, once they go, I've got nothing.
So I'm now going to be doing a traffic controller's course. So I'll be getting my tickets and I've got a job opportunity. Oh wait, I'm excited. Yeah, cheering.
The real Dylan, be a joker, a clown, and happy. That's who I really am. You know, all I want to be is just happy and smile. But it gets harder each day to hold a smile, you know.
2 years ago, I would have had a stigma about somebody on the street. You know, I would have thought, oh, why can't you go get employed? Or, you know, why are you asking me for $2? Or wondering why they're angry all the time. Like, you know, what's your problem? You know what I mean? Why can't you just be happy? Now I get it. It's changed my outlook on life.
9 times out of 10, it's no one's choice to be homeless.
I'm thankful that I went through it. I don't regret it. I think you need to go through the harder times to see the best times.
Homeless people have some of the biggest hearts in the world. We're our community. We're all people, and we're your sons, your daughters, your brothers, your sisters, your ex-husbands, ex-wives. It can happen to anyone. There shouldn't be a stigma attached to it. We're all just people.